Nikko, Japan. A name whispered like a prayer. A place where mountains meet spirit. Ancient cedars guard sacred ground. Sunlight filters through leaves, painting patterns on moss-covered stones. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a tapestry woven from shrines and temples. Come, journey with us to Nikko. Walk paths trod by shoguns and monks. The air hums with echoes of rituals, centuries old. Our exploration begins in the shadow of Mount Nantai. He felt the mountain's power, its connection to something beyond. Our journey starts with Shodo Shonin. He arrived in Nikko in the 8th century. Imagine him, a solitary figure amidst towering trees. The mountain loomed large, a presence both daunting and alluring. Shodo Shonin was drawn to its energy, its raw, untamed spirit. He built a small temple, a humble offering to the mountain god. This was the seed from which Nikko grew. Over centuries, other monks followed. They too felt the mountain's pull. They established temples and monasteries, carving out spaces for prayer and meditation. The air filled with the rhythmic chanting of sutras. The forest became a sanctuary. Nikko became the spiritual heartland of the Tokugawa shogunate. Enter Tokugawa Ieyasu, the shogun who unified Japan. A cunning strategist, a ruthless leader. But even the mightiest warrior seeks solace in the end. Ieyasu chose Nikko for his final resting place. Not just any tomb, mind you. A mausoleum complex so grand, so opulent, it would leave no doubt of his legacy. Thus was born Toshogu Shrine, Nikko's crown jewel. Its construction was a national endeavor. Thousands of artisans, carpenters and painters dedicated years to its creation. No expense was spared. The result? A riot of color and detail, a testament to Ieyasu's power and the artistry of a nation. But Toshogu is more than just a tomb. It's a statement, a declaration of the Tokugawa clan's divine right to rule. Ieyasu wasn't just a shogun, he was enshrined as a deity. The shogun's presence forever changed Nikko. Amidst the grandeur of man-made structures, there's another force at play in Nikko nature. Towering cryptomeria trees, centuries old, stand guard over the shrines. Their roots snake across the ground, a reminder of time's passage. Sunlight filters through their branches, dappling the forest floor in a mosaic of light and shadow. Nikko's beauty is a symphony of contrasts. The vibrant reds and golds of the temples pop against the deep green of the forest. Waterfalls cascade down mossy rocks, their roar a counterpoint to the hushed whispers of prayer. In spring, cherry blossoms blanket the landscape in a sea of pink. Autumn paints the leaves in fiery hues of crimson and gold. The builders of Nikko understood the power of their surroundings. They incorporated natural elements into their designs. Buildings blend seamlessly into the landscape. It's this unique blend that makes Nikko so captivating. Toshogu Shrine. Even the name shimmers, doesn't it? This isn't just a place of worship. It's a declaration. A testament to the might of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the shogun who united Japan. Every inch of this complex, from its towering gates to its intricately carved eaves, speaks of power and artistry. You approach through a forest of towering cryptomeria trees. Their silence is a prelude, preparing you for the sensory overload ahead. Then, the Yomeimon Gate. Imagine a structure so ornate, so gilded, it's almost impossible to absorb. Dragons writhe, their wooden scales seemingly alive. Flowers bloom in perpetual spring, carved from wood and painted in vibrant hues. But Toshogu isn't all bombast. Tucked away, you'll find the sleeping cat. A small, unassuming carving above a doorway. The cat, eyes closed, seems lost in a peaceful slumber. It's a reminder that even amidst such grandeur, there's a place for quiet contemplation. If Toshogu is about earthly power, Futarasan Shrine is about something older, wilder. This is where Shodo Shonin built his humble temple. The mountain's presence is palpable. Futarasan is a complex of 40 shrines. Each turn reveals a hidden waterfall or a moss-covered statue. The air is crisp, infused with cedar and the sound of rushing water. One highlight is the Shinbashi Bridge. Standing on that bridge, it's easy to feel a sense of the divine. Compared to the opulence of Toshogu or the natural grandeur of Futarasan, Rinnoji Temple might seem understated at first glance. But don't be fooled. This sprawling complex, founded in the 8th century, holds its own treasures, waiting to be discovered. Start with the Sanbutsudo, the temple's main hall. Inside, 3 massive golden Buddhas gaze out serenely, their expressions both compassionate and awe-inspiring. The air hums with the chanting of monks, a sound that seems to resonate deep within you. But Rinnoji's true magic lies in its gardens. Step through a hidden doorway and you're transported to another world. The Shoyoen Garden, designed in the 17th century, is a masterpiece of Japanese landscaping. Meandering paths lead you past meticulously pruned trees, serene ponds, and moss-covered lanterns. Here, amidst the rustling leaves and the gentle trickle of water, you find a sense of peace. As you wander through Nikko's sacred grounds, you'll inevitably find yourself crossing bridges. Bridges over rushing rivers, bridges over tranquil ponds, each one a symbolic passage. But there's one bridge in Nikko that's more than just a way to get from one place to another. It's a bridge of visions. The Shinkyo Bridge, also known as the Sacred Bridge, is no ordinary structure. Lacquered a vibrant vermilion, it arches gracefully over the Daya River, its reflection shimmering in the water below. For centuries, this bridge was off-limits to commoners. Only the Shogun and his envoys were permitted to cross. Today, anyone can walk in the footsteps of shoguns. The Shinkyo Bridge is a reminder that in Nikko, the line between the earthly and the divine is often blurred. The shrines and temples of Nikko aren't just buildings, they're part of a living landscape. They breathe with the forest, whisper with the wind. Remember Shodo Shonin, the monk who founded Nikko? He saw the mountains as sacred, imbued with divine power. This belief, called mountain worship, is at Nikko's heart. Look closely at the carvings adorning the temples. See the cranes and turtles, symbols of longevity? Notice the lotuses, rising from the mud to bloom in perfect beauty? These aren't just decorations. They're reminders of Buddhist teachings, of the interconnectedness of all things. The Japanese garden, too, is a form of worship. Every carefully placed stone, every pruned pine tree, speaks of harmony and balance. Walking through these gardens, you're not just observing nature, you're experiencing it. Nikko reminds us that spirituality isn't confined to temples and shrines. For centuries, pilgrims have flocked to Nikko. They come to pay respects to Ieyasu, the shogun enshrined at Toshogu. They come to seek blessings at Futarasan, to find solace in Rinnoji's peaceful gardens. And they come to participate in rituals, those ancient practices that connect the present to the past. Imagine the scene, a procession of monks in saffron robes, their chanting echoing through the temple halls. The air thick with incense, the flickering light of lanterns illuminating ancient statues. These rituals are more than just spectacle. They're a way to connect with something larger than oneself, to tap into the spiritual energy that permeates Nikko. Even if you're not participating directly, witnessing these rituals is a powerful experience. You feel the weight of history, the continuity of tradition, and you realize that these rituals aren't just about the past. Nikko isn't frozen in time. Yes, it's a treasure trove of history and tradition, but it's also a living, breathing place. The rituals continue, adapted for modern times. Local festivals bring the community together, celebrating the changing seasons and honoring ancient deities. One such festival is the Yayoi Matsuri, held every spring at Futarasan Shrine. Imagine a procession of elaborately decorated floats, each representing a different aspect of local folklore. Musicians fill the air with lively melodies, and dancers twirl in colorful costumes. It's a celebration of life, of the enduring spirit of the Japanese people. And then there are the everyday rituals, the small acts of devotion that keep the spirit of Nikko alive. A woman lighting incense at a shrine, her head bowed in prayer. These acts, seemingly insignificant, are threads in the tapestry of Nikko's spiritual life. As you leave the tranquil grounds of Nikko, the scent of incense still clinging to your clothes, you carry something with you. Perhaps it's the image of Toshogu's gilded splendor, or the sound of a waterfall cascading down a moss-covered cliff. But more than that, you carry a sense of awe. Awe at the artistry of the craftsmen who built these structures, the devotion of the pilgrims who have walked these paths for centuries. You carry a reminder that there are forces at play in the world beyond our understanding, forces that connect us to something larger than ourselves. Nikko whispers to us. It speaks of the enduring power of nature, the beauty of human creation, the search for meaning that lies at the heart of every spiritual tradition. Nikko, a name that echoes with the weight of centuries. We've journeyed through its sacred grounds, explored its hidden paths, and felt the pulse of its history. But what remains when the journey ends? What does Nikko leave etched upon the soul? It's more than just memories of ornate temples and serene landscapes. It's a deeper understanding of Japan itself. Nikko embodies the country's unique blend of nature worship and artistry, its reverence for the past, and its embrace of the present. The Tokugawa shoguns, in their ambition, inadvertently created something timeless. They sought to immortalize their power in gilded temples and towering structures. But what truly endures is the harmonious balance between human creation and the natural world. Each visitor will find their own meaning in Nikko's embrace. For some, it's the sheer aesthetic beauty, the explosion of color and detail in Toshogu's carvings, the serenity of Rinnoji's gardens. For others, it's the spiritual resonance, the sense of peace found in a quiet temple courtyard, the echo of chanting monks resonating deep within. Nikko invites introspection. It prompts us to ask questions about our own beliefs, our connection to the natural world, our place in the grand scheme of time. Standing before the towering cedars, centuries old, it's hard not to feel a sense of humility, a recognition of our own fleeting existence. But there's also a sense of hope. Nikko tells us that even amidst the impermanence of life, there's something enduring, something worth preserving. You don't simply visit Nikko, you experience it. You breathe in the scent of cedar and incense, feel the coolness of moss beneath your fingertips, hear the rhythmic drumming of a taiko echoing through the mountains. And when you leave, you carry a piece of it with you. The memory of sunlight filtering through leaves, painting patterns on a moss-covered statue. The echo of a prayer whispered in a darkened temple hall. The feeling of being fully present, connected to something larger than yourself. Nikko is a journey of the senses and the soul. It's a reminder that the most profound destinations are often those that lead us back to ourselves. And long after you've left its sacred grounds, you'll find yourself drawn back to its memory, seeking solace in its beauty, inspiration in its history, and a renewed sense of wonder in the world around you.